Can the IRS audit you forever? This couple filed their tax return in the 90s. Almost 20 years later, the IRS comes knocking. They now owe $65,000 in back taxes, over $13,000 in penalties, and over $250,000 in interest, going all the way back to the 90s. But how's this even legal? Let me explain. You see, most people think that the IRS has 3 years to audit you, and that's generally true. Section 6501 of the Internal Revenue Code says that the IRS has 3 years from the date the return was originally filed to assess additional tax against you. But there's a big exception that can haunt you for decades. Okay, so here's what happened. The Murrins filed their tax returns from 93 to 99, and everything pretty much looked normal to them, but their tax preparer secretly inserted some fraudulent entries into their return. So fast forward to 2019, the IRS discovered the scheme that the preparer was running and came after the Murrins. So the couple argued, hey, we didn't know anything about the fraud. The 3-year rule has already run. It should protect us. But the tax court was like, that doesn't matter. You see, Section 6501C1 says that if a return that's been filed is fraudulent, then the IRS can assess additional tax at any time. Not 3 years, not 5 years, at any time. And the tax court ruled that it doesn't even matter whether or not you personally knew about the fraud. If the return itself is fraudulent, it doesn't really matter if you knew about it. The fraud itself is what triggers the unlimited statute. And the Murrins actually did file a fraudulent return. They didn't create the fraud, but they filed the fraudulent return. And that is what triggered this whole nightmare, because when the IRS comes after you 20 years later, the interest has compounded like crazy, and what would have been just a slight assessment of additional tax now becomes an avalanche of penalties and interest. So here's what you need to know. If there's anything questionable on your old tax returns, you could be vulnerable. You need to take a second look, and it doesn't even matter if you're the one who prepared the tax return. That 3-year rule only protects you if your return is legitimate. If there's anything fraudulent on that return, even if you didn't know about it, the 3-year rule doesn't apply, and the IRS can come back at any time, even if it's decades later. So, got old tax returns that you're worried about? Maybe an aggressive preparer in your past, maybe some questionable things on there that you kind of knew about but kind of wasn't sure? IRS subtly sending you letters from decades ago? Give us a call at 1-877-LEVY-KING or reach out at levyking.com.
1-877-LEVY-KING. Levy King.